For the first time in nearly a month, the Boston Pride return to the Bright Landry Hockey Center, where they'll take on the Connecticut Whale in a battle for first place in the NWHL. Inside the Bright Landry Hockey Center, this is a budding rivalry, and alongside Scott Sudikoff, I'm Andy Towns. Scott, looking forward to an exciting one here. Connecticut has lost 3 times this year, all to the Pride.
Yeah, Connecticut got off to an undefeated start. The Pride had a bit of a slow start to the year, but now they have beaten Connecticut 3 consecutive times as we flash back to January the 17th. The last time the Pride were here taking on Connecticut, got the victory in that one, then were able to win a game down in Connecticut, and through the All-Star break and the weeks to come, this Pride team has continued to excel on the ice here, and the record indicative of that.
Two teams that can really light the lamp and have been especially good with their special teams, especially the power plays.
Yeah, the power plays are separated by .1. The percentages both over 23% on the year, and the Pride, of course, light the lamp a ton, over 4 goals a game as they try to chase Connecticut for that top spot in the league.
Each team has had a respective player that's been hot as of late, and for the Connecticut Whale, it's Kelly Stack.
Yeah, Kelly Stack, the product of Boston College, the 3-time Hockey East Player of the Year. You see on a 6-game point streak, leads is third in the NWHL in points. The type of player that can skate circles around you and then bury it in the back of the net. On the other side for Boston, Hillary Knight, a different type of player, bigger, stronger. She'll crash the net, get goals off of rebounds, leads the NWHL in goals and points on the year, and it helps when she has Brianna Decker feeding her in front.
A win today puts the Pride a point ahead of the Connecticut Whale. As things stand right now, a point behind the Whale in the NWHL standings as we head towards the end of the regular season. It is Denna Day. Denna Lang is in the house. We will have starting lineups and opening faceoff next on NESN. Back inside the Bright Landry Hockey Center, the starting lineups are being introduced on Denna Day. Boston coming in winners of 8 out of their last 9. The only loss, an overtime loss to Buffalo, who has really been coming out of nowhere, and they have leapfrogged the New York Riveters in the NWHL standings, going up to 3rd place, although right now it's looking like these will be the 2 teams at the top of the league and likely playing for the league championship.
Well, these 2 teams definitely will be the top 2 seeds in the playoffs coming up in a couple of weeks. Just a matter of who will be number 1 and who will be number 2 and who the matchups will be in the playoff series. But Andy, you definitely alluded to it. To go obviously by the numbers and the records, these are the 2 teams that you would expect to see in the championship series in March. But, don't sleep on Buffalo. As you said, they've been improving as the year has gone on. So, and we'll see here tonight if the Pride can leapfrog Connecticut into first place. See head coach Bobby J for the Pride. See if his team can leapfrog Connecticut into first place, or if the Whale, win today, get that 3-point advantage into the final 2 games of the year, they might be able to sew up that number 1 spot.
As we take a look at the end of the starting lineups here, it'll be Brittany Ott starting in net for the Boston Pride, 1.87 goals against, and Nicole Stock on the other side, about 2.5 goals against. But for now, we will head downstairs and hear the national anthem.
Ladies and gentlemen, would you please stand and remove your hats for the singing of our national anthem, performed today by 11-year-old Layla Adewale.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming? Whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watched, were so gallantly streaming. And the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home
On December 31st, while participating in the Women's Outdoor Winter Classic, Marblehead native and Pride forward, Dana Lang, suffered a devastating spinal injury. The entire hockey world has joined together as a family to encourage and support Dana on her road to rehabilitation and recovery. Today is Dana Day at Bright Landry as we gather to support an athlete whose attitude and resolve serve as an example to us all. In the words of Kelly Cook, then his teammate at Princeton University and on the Boston Pride, the pack may be one leg short on February 14th, but will always be 14 strong, and that's the strongest we've ever been. We're joined today by Dennis' sister, Lexi, and Brianna, who will drop the puck to support Dennis' recovery. Would Whale captain Kelly Stack and Boston forward Kelly Cook please join them for today's puck drop?
Back upstairs, it is Dana Day at the Bright Landry Hockey Center. Dana Lang is in the building, and the Boston Pride looking for yet another win in her honor. Again, they have won 8 of their last 9 overall, including 4 wins since she was injured at the Women's Winter Classic at Gillette Stadium. And Right now the Pride are huddled up and ready to go, and here is Denna Lang coming out on the ice. She will head to the crease in her wheelchair. You see right through the middle there, the players all around her, and she will certainly be inspiring the team today.
Hey, there you see her right there with her teammates. And ever since the unfortunate accident at the Women's Winter Classic, the outpouring of support from the entire hockey world has been incredible. Just from the NHL, from college, from all levels of hockey, age groups, everybody has come and supported Denna. And now we'll see if her Pride team can give her a victory on her Denna Day here at the Bright Landry Hockey Center.
It wasn't publicized before the game that she would be here, but plenty of fans in the building anyways as the Boston Pride play their final regular season home game of the year. And the goaltenders for today's game in net for the Connecticut Whale, it'll be Nicole Stuck coming in with a 2.53 goals against average and a 92.5% save percentage. Brittany Ott, on the other hand, 10-1, leads the league in wins, giving up actually just under 2 goals a game and saving about 93% of her shots. Ready to go, Kelly Stack and Brianna Decker will be the two at the center circle for the opening faceoff. 20 minutes on the clock for the first period between the Pride and the Whale. We are underway as Decker wins the opening draw and sends it back to her blue line. Straight through the middle, Decker will chase after it, couldn't quite get to it, and Connecticut takes possession. Through neutral ice, and the Whale trying to come away with a quick shot, but easily blocked by Gigi Marvin. Marvin, one of the all-stars for the Pride that played a few weeks ago in Buffalo. And it's been a while since the Pride have been here at Bright Landry. Brittany Ott makes her first save of the day.
Yeah, January 17th, the last time the Pride were here, they took on this Connecticut team, as we talked about in the open, have won 3 consecutive games over the first place Whale.
After that, they went out to Buffalo in the All-Star weekend and traveled down to Connecticut, took a 5-2 win there against the Whale, traveled to New York, a 6-1 win against the Riveters, and are back home today for their final contest at Bright Landry.
Great crowd, of course, on hand here, and just amazing that it's already the final regular season home game here for the Pride.
Are guaranteed to host a semifinal game. Not sure yet if that will be against Buffalo in New York. They are in action right now, with Buffalo leading New York in the second period 2-1.
Yeah, due to prior commitments here at the Bright Landry Hockey Center to Harvard Hockey, the playoff series for the Pride will move up to Beverly, Massachusetts, at the Ray Bork Arena. Not a bad place to play, of course.
Home of the Endicott College Gulls. Faceoff will be up in the offensive zone for the Boston Pride. One right away and taken by Pelkey. Pelkey had a tough time getting here today.
Yeah, I was following her on Twitter, and it said about noon today, she tweeted at least, that she was down in D.C. at the airport trying to fly up to Boston here, and clearly she made it. Obviously a pretty quick flight, so as long as she got in the air at a decent time, be able to get here in time.
Quick flight and then a hustle over here to the rink in order to suit up for opening faceoff.
Well, a lot of sacrifices these players have had to make. A lot of these players, of course, are assistant coaches at local colleges, and they have day jobs during the week, working 9 to 5. So a lot of late night practices, these Saturday and Sunday games.
Ott kicks one away. The big rebound there was swiped away by Dempsey. Outright in front.
So it's not easy for these professional athletes to be basically everywhere at once as the season goes on.
Dempsey skating in, looking for a goal. Looked like Boston was right on it. Had some help on the back door, but able to keep it out with Stock.
Thought maybe we might get a tripping call there. Saw some stick action.
Teams in the NWHL typically practice late at night. It was, spelled out for us in the press release announcing the first trade in league history a couple weeks ago between Connecticut and New York, where the respective goaltenders that were swapped would report to their team's practices at 10 p.m. Normally working their day jobs, practicing late at night, and then give their weekends to games. Here's Connecticut working up the ice on the far side. Kicked away by the Pride, though, and Boston will let it dump down and go off for a 5-man change. 3 minutes in, Connecticut has 3 shots on goal to Boston's 1, and they'll get into the offensive zone onside.
Look at Stack just be able to take that from all the way down the opposite side of the ice and just maneuver her way and now get some offensive zone time.
Danielle Ward leaves it off. That help from Brickner. Strong defensive play right at the pipe from Smelker.
A good stick check right there before Brickner could get a shot off.
Marvin sends it up. Smelker chases it to the corner. She lets it go. Back to the corner again. Boston able to win possession. Rachel Lannis right there. She lost it. Pokes it away, though. Now Decker sends it into the middle. Ott sticks it away. Picked up by Gedman. Bounced off the far side boards. Now Decker works it around. Decker looking for a shot is kept away. Wraps around the outside, and Connecticut clears it away from the crease.
Yeah, Decker. She had, I believe it was Smelker who was bearing down at the top of the crease.
Bit of a trip there. Again, no penalty called as Pelkey goes down quickly back to her feet. Mangine slides it off. Pelkey finding Decker now. Pelkey again tried the backhanded shot, knocked away, and we'll have a whistle coming up. 4.5 minutes into the game, no score. Connecticut leads in shots on goal 4-2 right now, and it's been up and down the ice quite a bit. And there's one shot right there. Amanda Pelkey tried to use the back of the stick.
Backhanded opportunity. They expect the play to be up and down the ice. Obviously plenty of speed to go around on these two teams.
Connecticut sends it all the way up the ice. This will find the crease. Brittany Ott actually skated to the side to play with her stick. Had that somehow gotten under, that would have slid right into the goal. Connecticut again in on side. Ott sticks one away. Marvin put it up to Hickel. Hickel across the blue line into the zone. Skates through 2 defenders. Not quite able to keep control of the puck, but Boston does. Here's Gedman over to the right side, rattled hard off the boards, just missing the net. A 1-on-1 turned into a 1-on-2 with help coming off the bench, and a shot deflected high into the net above the goal.
That'll give Connecticut an offensive zone face-off here. Haven't played 5.5 minutes yet, but teams have combined for about 7 or 8 shots on goal so far.
Connecticut has gone 11-0 against the other 2 teams in the league this year. They've completed the season sweep 6-0 of the Buffalo Buttes. They are 5-0 right now against the New York Riveters with 1 game to go. That'll be the final regular season game for the Whale. If Boston gets the win today, that would give them 2 points and leapfrog them over Connecticut. Last weekend, Boston had that #1 spot for a night, as Boston played Saturday, got the win, and then Connecticut played Sunday to take first place back with their win. Behind the goal, Kelly Stack had it taken away from her by Kelly Cook. Now Lannis into the zone. She keeps it. Not a whole lot of help there as Boston was off for a change. Bounced off the near boards. Mangine tried to swat it forward. Now Lannis will come in, and Lannis will complete the change. Here's a shot blocked in front, coming off the stick of Gallardi. Back over to Gallardi on the near side, right along the blue line. Sticks it across the red line, but puck still in the neutral zone. Poke forward, that time from Buser.
Got the top line out there right now for Boston, or what I guess you would call the top line, with Knight, Decker, and Smelker.
Ott just got lucky there was no blue jersey on the back door. Decker, a one-on-one, will try to dangle off, but couldn't quite get a clean shot. Right through the middle again. Ott uses the blocker. Connecticut has been peppering Ott so far. Boston, not a ton of shots on goal. Almost had a chance there. Now Decker rips one. Puck still loose in front. It's actually G.G. Marvin. He picks it up. Sends it over to Hickel. Now Dempsey looking for somewhere to go. Loose in front. Pelkey not quite quick enough to get there.
See how quickly with the speed Boston can attack the net, Jillian Dempsey especially. Creating some opportunities and some loose pucks.
2-on-2 for Connecticut. Left behind for Stack. Backhands it all the way across to the near boards. Now Bolden. Bolden over to Mangine. Skates it up herself. Now over the near side. Nobody there in a yellow jersey. Taken away by Dempsey. Mangine finds it. Throws it into the corner. Teammates off for a change. She watches to make sure she can't be of use and skates off.
Long stretch of play without a whistle. And just a free open ice situation for most of this game so far.
Quick pass. Boston pushed off to the near side, and there is our whistle as the puck is out of play. 11 minutes and 9 seconds on the clock. 8 shots for the Whale, just 3 for the Pride, but no score on either side between the top 2 teams in the NWHL. Each team has had some chances so far today. 8 shots, in fact, for Connecticut and 3 for Boston, but neither team has been able to light the lamp so far.
Yeah, Connecticut the better of the scoring opportunities for sure, but Brittany Ott has been up to task so far, and some chances for Boston where Connecticut's been able to crash in the slot and block some attempts and keep the play away from their goaltender Nicole Stock as best as possible. Connecticut trying to hang on to that top spot in the NWHL standings.
Wrapped around the end boards. Now the puck is picked up by Corinne Bowie. Bowie across the line, but 2 blue jerseys there. Stop her up. Picked it in the corner. Not much help there as Connecticut will try and bring it up the other way, but it's poked away. Gallardi was there. Can't hang on to it. Here comes Connecticut. Another shot, loose puck.
Trying to beat Ott there on the glove side. Happened last week for Ott, was beaten glove side. See the Whale trying to go that way.
Been a couple times today that Brittany Ott has given up some rebounds and the defense has had to clear it away, and probably been a little bit lucky that no Whale players have been there. It's the icing against Connecticut. Just over halfway through the first period, 10 minutes plus a tick.
Great crowd on hand here. Filled in very nicely on this regular season home finale for Boston.
Still a scrum around the dot. Finally, Boston is able to win control. Here's Pelkey turning around looking for help. Skates it up herself into the corner. Lost the puck. Now it's still loose. Goes off the end boards. Pelkey picked it up again. Turns. Has a teammate there. Up in the corner. Boston sending it back to the blue line. Bolden up into the circle. Hickel taken there by Doyle.
Connecticut doing a good job so far protecting the slot and the good shooting areas, not letting the Pride get much chance there. And now a breakout potentially.
Gedman was just knocked to her backside. Big hit courtesy of Alyssa Wolfiler. Pelkey tried to knock that away. Couldn't quite take it from Tomimoto. Off of a skate, Bolden right there. Could have been an ugly bounce. Bit of a scrum for a puck, and since we've had this break here the last couple of minutes, it seems like it's been a little bit sloppier. Nobody able to get clean possession of the puck through the first 9 minutes or so. It was very back and forth, but pretty crisp.
Well, definitely not really a feeling out process. These teams have now played, it's the 5th time they're matching up on the season, having played a couple times within the last month. So at this point of the year with just the 4-team league, you know everybody, you know how everybody plays, so you come out flying immediately. Both teams know what's on the line here.
Decker leaves it behind, and there's a shot ripped by Smelker, just missed wide right.
She tried to go to that upper right corner, stick side.
Gallardi tries it, she gets knocked down, her stick is loose in the neutral zone. Gets back to pick it up. Puck chased her back there. Now Decker, all the way to the far side. Gallardi will go and pick it up. Puck bounced up right in front of the Connecticut bench. Now Gallardi slaps it into the corner and skates off. Offensive change. And as the puck goes out of play yet again, we will take a break with the players. Still no score between the Whale and the Pride on NESN and ESPN3. Denna Day at the Bright Landry Hockey Center. Denna Lang is in the building supporting her teammates, and well, it's unfortunate that she can't be on the ice. It's incredible the support that Denna and the Boston Pride have gotten since she went down with an injury in late December.
Yeah, all across the world, the entire hockey world, hockey family, from college to pros to high school to everywhere in between. They've come out to support Denna Lang, whether it's just tweets of well wishes or Facebook posts, and if you're able to follow Denna Lang's accounts on Facebook and Twitter, it's pretty inspirational to see the what she's going through and the positive attitude that she's been able to go through with it all.
And despite that, she's been quoted as saying that that day playing the Outdoor Women's Classic was still the best day of her life, getting to suit up in a professional women's hockey jersey with the NWHL at Gillette Stadium.
Well, I mean, obviously a watershed moment in this league and women's hockey in general, women's sports in general, to be able to have that opportunity.
Gedman put one into the middle, deflected away. 6 shots on goal now for Boston, just under 7 minutes to play. Puck has been up and down the ice. Players certainly getting their workouts today. Here's Hickel across the blue line. Nobody else behind her, though, as Boston is getting fresh legs. Connecticut pushed it forward. We see a penalty getting called. It'll be a hold called against Connecticut. First power play today coming up for the Boston Pride.
Well, both of these teams convert at 23% or just a little bit over. Penalty kills are both pretty good as well, so we'll see what gives in this matchup, see what happened if we can catch the penalty. Here it is, calling it a hold. Engstrom.
Molly Engstrom just got her hand up on the collar of Zoe Hickel. Engstrom, the reigning player of the week in the NWHL. Here's a slap shot from the point. Stock used her pads to keep it out of the cage. Off the near side boards. Picked up by Decker. Decker has it again, slides it across, top of the circle, shot, and it goes high. Puck still alive, back to the blue line. Up in again, no goal.
For that redirected front. You have Knight hanging out behind the goal.
Knight with it right now, slides forward. Knight has it again, rotation, and right on the post. Looks like Stock is covering up. There's the whistle, and we'll have a face-off.
Well, on this sequence of the power play, the 50 seconds, you could see how many different ways Boston can get pucks towards the net, whether it's going across the ice to make Stock go right to left across her crease, or shooting it there from the center point and trying to get a redirect from Smelker. And then, of course, Hillary Knight hanging out behind the net around the goal line. You have to always be aware where she is, and really have to be aware where everybody is on that Boston power play.
Decker to Bolden on the blue line, back up to the blue line. Now Bolden. Missed wide right, kept that one low. 50 seconds left on the power play. Boston 23.2%, number 1 in the league. Connecticut right behind them, 23.1. There's Decker over through the right face-off circle.
See this second power play unit a little bit more methodical than the first unit.
Connecticut does have the best penalty kill in the NWHL, killing off about 85% of their penalties. There's a block. Now Dempsey stands with the puck coming around on the near side to the blue line. Just 5 seconds left on the penalty, and as the puck gets into the neutral zone, Boston won't be getting a power play goal today, or at least not on their first try. And
Gigi Marvin trying to go hard to the net, and a little extra shove after the fact.
Doesn't count if you send a player into the net. It does have to be the puck. Here's Connecticut coming up the other way. Wolfiler, and we'll have another penalty.
And now it'll be Connecticut's chance to go on the power play here.
4:06 on the clock. It'll be a 2-minute power play coming up for Connecticut. Again, just a 1/10 of a percentage away from Boston. And you see the penalty there. Gigi Marvin is in the box for the next 2 minutes.
Well, Connecticut able to kill off a penalty, get the momentum from that, and now immediately go on the power play. See Marvin, hard to see exactly what happened there. Body checking the call right up there against the glass.
Back to the blue line, the Pride have it. Now Gallardi did a nice job preventing that from getting all the way into the corner. Faber was there waiting. Now it's Faber again, sliding it back to the blue line. Engstrom, Faber, now Stack. Works around the outside of the left faceoff circle. Stack, top of the circle, right down to the blue line. Faber tried to get somebody in front, but Decker was right there.
Well, that puck popped up into the air, and luckily Decker was there to slap it away and not allow Buser to be the one to put it in the goal instead. And so Decker, right place, right time with the stick position.
About halfway through the penalty, Boston did clear it up the length of the ice once, and now Gallardi couldn't get enough on it to send it all the way down this time. At least got a couple more seconds cleared off. Under 3 to play in the opening period. Rattled hard off of the near boards, but Connecticut keeps it in.
And watch out for Kelly Babstock on this power play. The second unit for Connecticut, number 8, there in blue with the puck now.
There's Babstock across the front. Ott does a split and keeps it out of the net.
Oh, beautiful tape-to-tape pass. As I was saying it, Babstock to Long, and Ott just the beautiful save, of course.
Knocked out of the zone. 15 seconds left on this Whale power play. Puck comes up to the corner, and Connecticut will get fresh legs as well. That will do it for the Whale advantage.
Well, on both the power plays, the two teams all had good chances, some good saves on both ends. So strong penalty kill, really kind of 50-50. Strong power play, strong penalty kill.
Now back to the middle, Pelkey shoveled it over to the far side. Hickel slides it across, nobody there in a yellow sweater. Gallardi behind the goal line, looking to get room in front. Kept back behind the net. Gallardi fighting for it again, this time with Engstrom. Dempsey skates around. Shot, score! Looks like it'll be Smelker getting the goal, but Dempsey right there, and Boston just crashing up front, and they take a 1-0 lead with 1:23 to go in the first period. We'll see Dempsey coming through, and it is in fact Smelker.
Yeah, Dempsey, the good drive coming from the boards there, getting on net, able to face up, shoot it off the pads, off the body of Stock, and Smelker there to bang it home and get the pride on the board. So you don't get the power play goals, but it does lead to good play even on the 5-on-5 and pick up the late first period goal. And again, Dempsey the one setting that up, using her speed to get to the front of the net there from kind of coming all the way from the corner boards.
5 of the last 6 shots in this game have been to the Pride. Here's another chance. Boston looking for space in the middle. 40 seconds on the clock in the opening period. Boston now with a 1-0 lead on Smelker's tally. Connecticut picks it up behind the goal. Trying to skate through center ice, and we'll have a slash coming up. Boston will finish on a power play. Connecticut will skate back to the corner, touch it up, and we'll have 20 seconds of 5-on-4 before intermission.
Kelly Stack will be heading to the box, it looks like. Also just had one of our officials take a tumble. It's okay, though. Yeah, so Stack heading to the box here with 20 seconds left in the period. Asking what exactly she did, a little bit of a smile, and heading into the sin bin.
In my opinion, that was a pretty clear penalty to call on the slash.
Yeah, she's trying to the stick lift, some contact. Normally in that situation, that penalty would be called if you chop the stick out of the opposing player's hands.
It's probably more hearing the stick-on-stick contact that got the whistle there, but just under 4 seconds to go in the period. Boston will span the intermission with this power play opportunity. And the one goal they have was even strength. We'll see if they can pick one up on the 5-on-4. And just after that, face-off time expires. So Boston will, in fact, take a 1-0 lead into the second period. Again, looking for the top spot in the NWHL, and that was back and forth.
Yeah, definitely back and forth. The Whale had the better of the play through the first 8 or so minutes. Then the Pride got that power play and able to play strong through that. No power play goal, but pick up the goal late in the period. Good job by Jillian Dempsey to set it up and get the goal by Jordan Smelker.
Smelker has the only tally so far. Boston up 1-0 on the Connecticut Whale in the fight for first in the NWHL on NESN and ESPN3.
Number 7, Lauren Kennedy. Number 8, Sienna Schultz. Number 9, Grace Collins. Number 10, Tatum Friedel.
Back inside the Bright Landry Hockey Center, Boston has a 1-0 lead over Connecticut through 20 minutes of play. And we're upstairs here with Cherie Hendrickson, and you've been a part of this team since the beginning, and it's the first season. How has the season gone on, and what's it been like to be part of the inaugural season in the NWHL?
It's been a dream come true. This league has gone off with relatively few hitches, and we have a great fan base. As you can see today, we have a great crowd here today. The players have really enjoyed playing together, so it's a high-level competition, which is great.
Now, you graduated from Providence a few years ago. How's it been like for you to have this opportunity to get back in uniform?
It's been nice. I had played a couple years afterwards, didn't get to play last year, so just to get back on the ice again is really a lot of fun.
Now, obviously, the big thing today here at the Bright Landry Center is Dena Lang. We've got the jersey hanging behind us. You've got your yellow scarf, and all season long it's been, really since mid-season, I guess, the beginning of January, a rally behind Dena, and not even knowing that she was going to be here for all these fans. What's it like to see this crowd at the rink?
Oh, it's amazing. The hockey community has really rallied behind her, and the league has rallied behind her as well. Just to have all these fans here to support her is great, and to have her be here is just the icing on the cake. It's nice to have the whole team back together.
Now, with everybody coming together, what's been the most surprising for you to see somebody saying something or getting involved in supporting Dena?
The hockey community is a small one, but a close one, and so just to see the wide variety of people that have rallied behind her, everyone from kids who played together with her when they were young to college teammates to opponents of hers. We've had people reach out from all over. Travis Roy has reached out. So just the support has been really incredible.
A similar play for Travis Roy, so he knows what is happening with Dena right now and her family. And final question here, back on the ice, has Boston right now is leading, going for first place in the NWHL. How special would it be to come away with the first Isabel Cup?
Oh, it would be amazing. Just to capture the first one is history in the making. And I mean, we're taking it one game at a time. We'd love to go into the playoffs as a top seed, so it's a big game for us today to gather momentum. So hopefully we'll come out on top today.
All right, thanks very much, Cherie Hendrickson. We'll be back in just a moment. We'll have Lauren McAuliffe, assistant coach for the Boston Pride, coming up next on NESN and ESPN3. Thanks, Scott. Here with Jillian and Kelly. You two have definitely known Denna for a long time, since you were kids, growing up, and played with her in college, and you played against her here at Harvard. Disappointing moment, obviously, when she went down, but how has the team really rallied around her and used that situation as a turning point for the season?
Well, she's just remarkably strong, and everybody's so inspired by Denna, and she's always been an amazing teammate since I was 12 years old and I first met her. So she's kind of been a big inspiration for all of us. And since the incident, we've really tried to rally around and support her in any way that we can. And she's really driven us on the ice and off the ice to just try to be better, and really inspired us. So.
And Kelly, going into Princeton, even before she started, one of the coaches there talked about her resolve as one of the highlights of Denna Lang as a person. How have you seen that throughout her playing career, from when you were young until now?
I mean, she's definitely always just been the hardest worker, and she was a captain her junior and senior years at Princeton, and really just kind of got our team to gel together, and just led by example. I mean, even when she was hurt, she played through it. She didn't miss many games at all, and it's inspiring to have somebody like that on your team and to be a leader on your team.
There's obviously been a lot of national attention on Denna over the last several weeks, and how nice has that been for the team to see everybody rallying around her?
Well, I think it just goes to show you how strong the hockey community really is. We've known that being part of it, but when something like this happens and you see how everybody really gets behind her and is trying to show support in any little way that they can, it really makes us feel like being part of this hockey family. It's a family, and it's people like Gronkowski from the Pats and like the Bruins. They're all they're reaching out to Denna, and they're trying to be involved and trying to show her the support, and it's really uplifting for us to see so many people wanting to help out too.
And Kelly, what are some of the things that you and the team have done to help Denna and her family the last several weeks?
I think we've just really kind of been there for her. We've been trying to think of different things to do. We obviously the first game that we played, we scored 8 goals. I've never really seen our team that pumped up, and everyone was just thinking of Denna all the time. We have stickers on our helmets, and we've been trying to visit her and, you know, like text her and everything. She's texting us now, and just keep her in our thoughts. And obviously, we think about her all the time. So.
All right, thanks very much, Jillian Dempsey and Kelly Cook. Second period coming up next on Nesson.
Good. Great job. Thanks a lot, guys.
It was like the weirdest thing.
Yeah. Back inside the Bright Landry Hockey Center, the first period is over, and the Boston Pride have a 1-0 lead over the Connecticut Whale, and that was an exciting first period, really up and down the ice, and we ended up pretty even in shots. Boston really coming on strong at the end.
Yeah, Connecticut started that period off, I believe it was an 8-2 shots advantage, and then the offense started to tilt in Boston's favor. You had power play on each side. Neither team able to score in the power play, but I believe the Pride were able to find a lot of offense off that, and then took it into when they did score a goal, when Jillian Dempsey was able to set up Jordan Smelker. As we look back at some of these first period highlights, both goalies able to make some important saves. One particularly by Brittany Ott on the penalty kill for Boston at the time. So, you know, it's a game that could have a couple more goals on the board, but you're dealing with two of the better goalies, of course, in the league, and the two top teams in the league, and you expect to have a 1-0 game after one period.
Brittany Ott and Nicole Stock have both been tested, and that's what a lot of these highlights are, is just those two fending off a lot of shots. There is the one goal that Boston has scored. We'll take another look as getting the rebound, and Smelker able to put it home and give Boston the 1-0 lead. And we've had a couple of power plays going each way. Boston had one, then pretty much right after that ended, Connecticut got one, and now Boston is on the power play for the first minute and 40 seconds or so in the second period.
Yeah, right, exactly. Kelly Stack in the box right before the first period ended. So heading into the second period, you'll have a Pride power play for about a minute and 35 seconds. So with the fresh sheet, see what the Pride offense can do.
And of course, we've seen a lot of 14 strong jerseys. Now, Denna Lang did wear number 24 here in a Boston Pride uniform. However, when she was at Princeton, she wore number 14, and you see the Denna Lang jersey there that young fan is wearing at the bottom of your screen, but the hashtag 14strong is the movement that's gotten the support for Denna since she was injured several weeks ago. So that's why the difference in the number is there. It's not just a mistake. You see the 14 with Denna kind of in the background within the numbers 1 and 4. So 14 was her number at Princeton, and of course, a lot of the players in the NWHL either played with her at Princeton or played against her, especially Harvard and Yale, probably the top 2 teams.
And you just had the chance to talk to him. Jillian Dempsey, of course, played at Harvard against Denna Lang, and then Kelly Cook was a teammate of Denna at Princeton, and even more so than that, a lot of these players grew up playing together in the same teams, the same leagues, and so a lot of crossover and a lot of people very close to this situation, of course, and we've seen again the support that's been throughout the last month or so.
And even before college, playing with club teams and high school teams even. Kelly Cook had played with Denna at Noblin Greeno, not too far from here at the Brightland Area Hockey Center. So a lot of these players have known Denna for so long, and it extends well beyond further back than the start of the NWHL season.
And of course her sisters, who we saw drop the ceremonial first puck, Brianna and Lexi, both members of the Harvard women's hockey team. Brianna a goalie, and Lexi Lang, a sophomore goal scorer for this Harvard women's hockey team that plays on this ice surface here at the Brightland Landry Hockey Center.
This is the final time that the Pride will play at the Bright Landry Center this season, with other commitments to Harvard hockey. The building unavailable for the semifinals of the Isobel Cup, which will be March 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Tickets are on sale on the NWHL website. That is nwhl.co, not .com. So if you put that in and can't get anywhere, that's why. You got to leave off the M.
Of course, these two teams will host the series that weekend, March 3rd to the 5th, Connecticut, down in Connecticut, of course. Then the next weekend, we'll have the championship series, and they'll play it down in Newark, New Jersey, at the Prudential Center, at one of the facilities they have at the Prudential Center. That's where the championship series will be a neutral site for the best of 3 championship.
Underway now in the second period. Boston is on the power play for the next minute and 35 seconds. Pride with a 1-0 lead. The goal coming even strength not too long after the Connecticut penalty expired. Boston, of course, now going left to right across your screen in the yellow jerseys. Connecticut in the blue and green going right to left. Pride have it in the offensive zone right now. Winding up now, a shot and a goal! That comes from the captain, Brianna Decker, set up for the backdoor deflection. A power play goal makes it 2-0 Pride.
You like that, Gallardi getting it from the blue line, one-timer in front, sort of a shot pass, and Decker finishing it off in front.
So just 35 seconds into the second period. Still 1 minute 6 seconds were left on the penalty. However, we'll see Kelly Stack come out of the box and back to 5-on-5 hockey, as Decker was coming in from the backside, got the deflection, and right away Boston with a shot again, but this time Stock makes the stop.
And I see Decker flash right there in front, the top of the crease, perfectly timed setup. On the look from Gallardi.
By the way, keeping an eye on the out-of-town scores, the Buffalo Beauts right now have a 3-2 lead on the New York Riveters. A little over halfway through the third period there. Gallardi and Marvin pick up assists on that goal by Decker as Stock covers up again, and we'll have another face-off. Face-off will be to Stock's right, and Boston will have a change. Take another look here at Decker's goal.
And Marvin to Gallardi quickly one time in front. He had both Smelker and Decker in the area, and if you're in goal there and you're defending, Gallardi had a chance for a shot herself, and I described it as a shot pass, the one-timer that she could have put on goal, but just laid it out in front at the top of the crease for Decker to finish off.
Connecticut able to clear it down, and Bolden chases it down into the corner. Picks it back up. It is 5-on-5 hockey now. With the goal, Stack was released from the box, had been called for a slash with about 20 seconds left in the first.
Well, that'll just anger Kelly Stack, and she'll want to get one back on her own. She's out there right now, number 61 in blue. The blue and green, of course, the colors of the Hartford Whalers, and as all the teams in the NWHL, they pay homage to NWH and NHL franchise in their uniform and logo.
By the way, this marks the 5th straight game in which the Pride have a special teams goal. They've got 5 power play goals now and a shorthanded goal in that stretch. And if you go back before that, the overtime loss against the Buffalo Beauts to start January, all 4 Beauts goals were on the special teams.
Good glove pick there by Stock, not letting a rebound get created there. So you look at it, Pelkey streaking in, not an easy angle to put one on goal there, but able to get it. And then Dempsey with the net drive, so Stock was wise to grab it and make sure nothing else could come of it. By the way, and I love the fact that they're the Connecticut Whale.
Got the permission to use the name and the colors.
Paying the homage to the Hartford Whalers.
Boston has it. Gallardi up in the corner, sends it over to the near corner. Pelkey picks it up there. Up the ice, here's a one-on-one. Hickel dangles in front, it's stopped, and Stock keeps it out.
It looked like Tamamoto from behind was just able to get enough of a stick in there to bother Hickel, who had a pretty goal last week in the Pride victory last weekend on the road, but denied there.
Boston will charge up again. Have another chance for the Pride. Smelker takes a shot. That is off the skates of Brickner. Now Brickner to the corner. Pins Dempsey up against the boards.
Job by Dempsey on a forecheck there at the end of the shift, able to keep that puck in, and now she goes off for a change.
Knight was there. Now Smelker will come and fight for it. Gets help from Decker. Now Knight over in the front. That almost deflected in off of a whale stick. Knight near side. Cleared out by Connecticut. This will get all the way up, and icing will be called, so bring it right back, and Boston will have the offensive zone face-off.
That's not good for Connecticut because they were pinned in their own end for a while there. Now can't get the change, and it looked like Tamamoto was able to get a stick in and bother it enough, but of course still a left pad save there by Stock. Now see if Boston can take advantage of potentially tire Connecticut legs.
It's been in the offensive zone for a while. Connecticut hasn't been able to clear it out except for that icing. But again, as you mentioned, not able to change. Still the same 5 on the ice. Rachel Lannis fights, and this will get all the way up, and this time it'll head to the net. There will be no icing, so Connecticut does get 10 fresh legs. Lannis lost it there to Tamamoto, but there was help on the boards. Now up in front, Boston thought they had a goal from Field.
Emily Field right there in the slot, trying to redirect us. A great delivery from the point.
Up of the red line, Mangine sent it forward. Now it's dumped down. Boston will have 5 off, 5 on. Dempsey, backhand pass. Not backhanded on net, but Pelkey couldn't put it through.
Trying to get that near side post on the glove side of Stock.
Here comes Buser. Left it behind her. Connecticut fighting really the first time they've had it in the offensive zone through the first 5.5 minutes of the second period.
Of course, started the period on the penalty kill, gave up the power play goal, and The Pride continue the momentum for a couple of minutes. But quickly, though, the Pride back out the other way.
Comes Hickle. She went off the side post of the net. Off the pads of Stock. Dempsey out into the middle. Another chance. Stock keeps it out. Knight was right there, still on the doorstep. Puck is back behind the goal.
Knight's so dangerous, of course, one of the bigger players out there, if not the biggest out there, and crashing towards the net, but Stock staying strong, but now Knight strong on the puck to keep it in possession.
Decker looking to get a one-timer from Gedman. Smelker lost it up into the corner. The fight with Bricker. Now Smelker again looking up in the middle. Decker tries the shot and Stock gloves it down. That'll bring us to our break, and early in this second period, it has been Boston control, 9 shots and 1 goal as they have a 2-0 lead on the Connecticut Whale. Back inside the Bright Landry Hockey Center, a 2-0 Boston goal, but there have been plenty of chances, including that one right there, for Boston to really extend this lead.
Yeah, Brianna Decker shot from the top of the circle, but you had Emily Field trying to redirect from the slot at one point. It was a lot of zone time in the first 6+ minutes of this period, helped out by the power play at the start, but Connecticut now a bit on their heels defensively. But still just a 2-0 game, and obviously the Whale have plenty of firepower to get 2 goals themselves on the board with players like Kelly Stack and Kelly Babstock, Kaylee Fratkin leading the way for this Connecticut team, so plenty of time left for the Whale to work their way back in.
Knock back to the boards. Here's Smelker. We've only seen it up the other way in the Connecticut offensive zone for a few seconds in this period. We're 7 minutes and change past the first intermission. 9-0 in shots on goal in this second as Knight turns around, passes it away. Babstock will bring it up past the red line, and Pride avoiding a hook there. Connecticut trying to get new players on the ice. Again, Boston has kept them pinned back defensively. And we'll get a whistle and another penalty coming up.
Too many on the ice there for Connecticut. I believe that's the call.
They've been desperate to get new legs on the ice and couldn't do it cleanly that time. So with 6 players on, that'll give Boston another power play opportunity. And with how tired Connecticut must be right now, the Pride must be chomping at the bit.
And Faber will head to the box to serve it for Connecticut. Now you said it though, Andy. Connecticut's had a tough start to the second period. They've had a lot of tired legs out there. Now at the play, down a man.
Dempsey turns around, sends it to the blue line. There's a shot deflected, but it stays left. Here's Pelkey picking it up in the corner. Back behind her for Hickle. Dempsey is standing right in front of the crease. Back and forth across the blue line. Gedman rips it! And Pelkey was there on the doorstep. Now cleared away and through the neutral zone.
Perfect setup though. Love that center point blast from Gedman, right? Intending to deflect it off Dempsey, and Yeah, Pelkey at the doorstep waiting, and almost worked out perfectly.
Boston has had the fewest power play opportunities in the league this year, but as we mentioned before, lead the league in power play percentage at just a couple ticks over 23%. There's a rip off the back of the net from Dempsey. 1 for 2 so far tonight. Smelker has it deflected off of a whale stick. Blue line again, that's Marvin, now over to Gallardi. Gallardi turns back behind her as Dempsey, as the puck will wrap around the boards. Now Dempsey couldn't get it to Hickle, and the puck will be sent out into the stands. 37 seconds left on the power play for Boston.
Another look at this chance set up by the drive by Gedvin. Dempsey deflecting it right there, but a great job by Stock getting out that right pad, blocking that post, and not allowing Pelkey to put home a goal, who scored many a goal in her time in Hockey East playing for Vermont.
The blue line, it'll go to Knight. Now Decker. Decker, Knight on the goal line. Decker again looking for a shot. Picked up by Knight. Decker just outside the dot, back to the blue line. Marvin, Decker, bounced off the boards. Knight taps it back. Gallardi there, now over to Smelker. 5 seconds left on the advantage. Connecticut will try and tap it away. Smelker there, putting the pressure on. Now Knight will rip a shot, tough angle there, and Stock is able to get the save. And an unsuccessful power play there for Boston, but not for lack of chances.
Certainly not for lack of chances. A couple of good opportunities on goal. This one not technically on the power play from Knight, but Stock, who's now made 21 saves tonight. See Hillary Knight leading the NWHL in all the major categories, goals, assists, and of course points.
It has been the Boston show in this second period. Still a 12-0 shots on goal advantage. Just about to cross over the 10-minute mark here in the second period, and Connecticut looking for their first shot. Had 10 shots in the opening 20 minutes.
Well, they've really never been able to get going in this period. Started the period off on a penalty kill. They've had another one since and been on their heels.
2-on-1, shot comes off the post.
Yeah, that grazed Stock's glove and then the outside of the post there. And that Stock probably one that she would like to have back, in the sense that she'd like to corral that, be able to glove it down. Doesn't harm though in the end.
Boston pokes it off of the far side boards. Now Pelkey looking for room, had it poked away from her. Brickner got a stick in on it. Now Hickle back to the blue line. Gallardi, Hickle again, top of the circle. She'll circle around to the point. Brickner lost her stick.
And leaves it there just to get back into the defensive position. Not enough time to go grab it.
Dempsey to Hickle, kept it away from that loose wood. Blue line, shot blocked.
Able to go get the stick now is Brickner.
Buser sacrificed her body. Now Mangine has it tapped away from her. Gallardi will chase back and beats Babstock. Onside to the Pride. Knight, and a deflection off of the side of the net for Hickle. Just off target by inches.
And Knight had just jumped on to the blue line there off the bench.
Smelker looking for a shot, did not get a good angle. Doyle cut it down. Now there's another shot, and Stock will glove this one and keep it for a face-off. That'll give us a break after a lot of action here, and the power play for Boston coming through with a goal, a 2-0 advantage, as Boston has a 13-0 shot advantage in this second period. Back inside the Bright Landry Hockey Center, 2-0 the Boston lead, and they have been close several times, and this could be a blowout.
You see two shots there that go off the side of the post on the opposite side. You see the numbers. Stock has done her job, 22 saves. Brittany Ott has not faced a shot in this second period so far. We've already played close to 12 full minutes, and it's been all Pride in the second period, helped out by a couple of power plays.
It's when you get into a dangerous territory with the goaltender just kind of standing there and watching the play from the other end of the ice.
That's a good point as well, that she wants a little bit of work down there.
At least keep her fresh. Here's Knight getting a pass from Decker, not quite clearly contained.
No goalie's ever going to argue about the lack of pressure, but you at least want to be able to handle the puck here and there to stay involved.
I'm sure she'd rather be in her skates than Nicole Stocks right now.
Yes, that's a good point. And let's say that again here, because now it'll be an icing, and Whale can't change, and the puck comes right back into the offensive zone for Boston.
A lot of time on the ice and extended shifts here for the Connecticut Whale as Boston has kept the puck in the offensive zone for much of this second period. Again, 13 shots to 0 in the second for the Pride.
This is the Boston team that most people expected from the onset, with the talent collected up and down this roster. And not to say that there isn't talented players across the rest of the league, but this Pride collection of players looked upon as kind of on the elite level, and they have definitely played that way after a slow start, as we've talked about.
Boston led the way in count on the All-Star rosters. Sent 11 players to Buffalo. The host Buttes had 8 representatives. Connecticut had 5, and the New York Riveters had 4. By the way, Buffalo and New York are even at 3 now. New York has come back from down 3-2.
Look how quickly a 3-on-2 just develops there, because Connecticut has to make a couple changes, and the Pride right back up in your face.
Pelkey circles around. Dempsey picks up on the near side, right at the edge of the circle. She's brought to the ice. Back to the neutral zone. Here's Dempsey. Connecticut was off for a change, but they're able to get back quickly on defense.
Yeah, Connecticut could not get the puck deep into the Boston zone and give themselves to catch a time to catch their breath, and another shot on goal.
Field that circled behind and then got a shot there from Marvin, but Stock keeping it out of the net, up to 24 saves on the day.
Still Connecticut shotless in this second period. And
she comes into today's game with a 4-1-0 record this season.
yeah, you mentioned Connecticut and New York made the first trade, swapping goalies.
Puck loose, Stock unable to control it. Tried to pounce on it, but it was cleared away.
Yeah, so Connecticut's gone through a couple different goalies, trying to find who to truly be their number one.
Field sends it across. Now Stack. And offsides as Buser was a little bit eager to get across, and can't blame her as Connecticut has not been in the offensive zone much. She couldn't wait to get there. Boston maintains a 2-0 lead over the Whale on NESN and ESPN3. Bobby J, head coach of the Boston Pride, heading with what looks like should be towards first place in the NWHL, chasing the first regular season title and then on to hopefully the first Isabel Cup, as Boston right now trails by 1 point in the standings behind Connecticut, but at the moment with a 2-0 lead, and they have been dominating this second period.
Yeah, no shots on goal for Connecticut in over 14 minutes of action, and we don't keep track of it, but if we had zone time in terms of Connecticut in their offensive end, certainly less than a minute.
And
that
even
puck
now,
being down there.
And even now, this puck is in the offensive zone in that area of the ice for Connecticut, but Boston had possession. Now across, scoring chance, and it's kept away.
Sat there at the top of the crease for a moment. Smelker was skating onto it, but it just got tipped away at the last moment.
Looked like Doherty got in on it. Knight comes in, couldn't get it away from Brickner. Smolenseva, and
I think that'll officially go as a shot on goal, but not quite a scoring chance. But if you're Connecticut, you're happy just to get something like that. Now get an offensive zone face-off and see if you can start to build some offense here.
Yeah, Brittany Ott says hello again. We haven't really seen a whole lot of her lately. And here's that last shot. Like Smelker again, she was looking for her second. Now Ott kicks one away. Looks like they didn't mark on off for the previous shot that set up the face-off, but there's two in a row with one kick, and that one right there is very clearly a shot. So Brittany Ott making the save anyways and keeps the clean sheet.
Well, I mean, for as much as Boston's dominated, it's only 2-0. It feels like it might be a little bit more than that because Connecticut hasn't had any type of offense in the second period, but score one late in this period and go to the intermission down 2-1. It's a whole different game for that final 20 minutes. Connecticut just trying to hang on here.
There's been a lot of shots. One that Nicole Stock has made some great saves on, or a handful of others that have just been inches off target. To the near side, Connecticut gains control. Pushed up, now down in the defensive zone. Mangine has it. About 4 minutes left to go in the second period that has been under control by Boston, really from the start of the second. Now here's a chance coming right through. Dempsey takes a shot high and left.
She just kind of snuck down the center of the ice at the end of a shift as her teammates were changing out.
Over the near side, Tommy Moto on the far side. Lannis chasing after it. She's got speed, so if you're Engstrom, you really can't just let that puck sit there because Rachel Lannis can catch up to it. Ends up getting control, fires it back to the opposite corner of the zone. Hard off of the end boards. There's Cook. She'll fight for it. Over the corner, Engstrom sliding it away, and this will be cleared into the neutral zone. Down to 3 minutes on the clock in the second. Connecticut will surely be looking forward to the 15 minutes of rest that they'll have.
They were close to another too many players on the ice there. That puck just kind of luckily went by.
Knight, Decker. They battle Engstrom. A lot of talent right there in the corner. Stock puts one away. Knight out into the middle. Not real clean to Mangine. Connecticut did get that across the red line before dumping it out and going for a change, so no icing. We'll have it in the offensive zone. Not something we've seen a whole lot of this period. Pushed off to the far side. Here comes a shot from Smelker, and it was kicked away. Decker couldn't quite get a stick on it to put it home.
Yeah, just bouncing a bit where she couldn't get the stick down on it, but it did have an open part of the net.
Pelkey rips it, misses left. Now Smelker, and the puck is loose, covered up by Stock. She reaches out in front of her. Just under 2 minutes to go in the first period. It's 2-0 Pride, and looking at the shots on goal, we've mentioned it a few times, up to 19-1 in the second period for Boston. Pride do average 45.5 shots a game entering today. Pickle at the goal line, slides it back to the blue line. All the way across, and Stock's glove goes up. She catches it for another face-off.
Stock having that save ticker just continue to move up. Nearing 30 saves on the afternoon.
And we still have 21 minutes and 45 seconds of hockey. Back to the blue line, kept in by Pelkey. Pelkey at the goal line, tried to weave her way around Fratkin.
Yeah, let's continue the pressure. There's no time to rest if you're the opposing team against the Pride, because whoever they roll out, they have offensive prowess. There's no line, there's no group of players on this Pride team that you can sit back and say, all right, this isn't an offensive group out here.
At the blue line, Boston keeps it in. Here's a shot, Stock again covers. Dempsey was right there had she dropped it. But the puck is controlled, and we'll have another face-off.
Just for the moment when you think you have the puck out of the zone, in the neutral zone, it just turns right back up ice. Nicole Stock is looking forward to the second intermission here to get a break.
Get a lot of water in her between periods. As we reach the 60-second mark, Boston keeps it in right on the blue line. Dempsey lets it go through to Lannis. It's not Dempsey, that is Bowie. Connecticut will try and charge up the ice. Buser, near side, over the middle, back to Buser in the circle. Ott has to kick it away now, sliding side to side. The puck was behind the net, and Boston will win it back. Couldn't keep control in the neutral zone. Now tap back and forth between teams. Bolden up to Smelker. Smelker fighting. 20 seconds left. Smelker still going after it. Has Decker behind her. Decker gets to it, but slides all the way by her. Ward sent it up, and icing will be called. Like a few extra seconds ticked off there after icing should have been called, but it's 6.2 ticks left on the clock before second intermission.
Yeah, Connecticut will have to find some sort of adjustment to make heading into the third period in order to earn themselves some more offensive time.
There's the horn, and that will do it. Second period comes to a close, and Connecticut has got to be very happy about that.
Yeah, very happy. Only got one shot on goal. All Pride got the power play goal early in the period, but you know, power play goal early in the period, it was all Boston, but it's only 2-0, so Connecticut is still right there in the game.
One goal scored on 21 shots there for the Boston Pride. Connecticut only tested Brittany Ott once, but the Pride do have the 2-0 lead heading into the third. We'll talk to Lauren McAuliffe and Haley Moore coming up on the other side of the break on NESN and ESPN3. Back inside the Bright Landry Center, a 2-0 Boston Pride lead. We're upstairs here with Lauren McAuliffe. And Lauren, what a second period that was. You had 21 shots and only gave up 1 on the other end.
Yeah, that was a really great period. We did a good job possessing the puck and forechecking hard, and we had it in their end a lot of that period, so it was good.
Yeah, really didn't give Connecticut a whole lot of chances there. And one thing to really mention, lately the special teams have been great for Boston. Has that been a focus in practice, or has that just been kind of a matter of coincidence?
Honestly, we have a lot of talented players, and we kind of give them a little bit of room to dictate what they want to do and play to their strengths a little bit, and that's what we saw with that beautiful goal. They talked about that themselves and kind of figure out what they're seeing out there, and that's kind of what's nice about coaching a group that's so talented is that they see the ice really well and they're able to kind of see what opportunities they have out there. So that was all them. I would like to take credit, but I can't.
Now, a couple of losses early in the season to New York and Buffalo, 2 teams that Connecticut ran through 11-0, and now Boston has had some chances to play Connecticut head-to-head, and a win today puts you in first place. What would that mean for the team with 2 games left?
Yeah, that would be huge for us. I mean, I think the whole regular season we've had some struggles, but the last, couple of months we've been playing our best hockey, and I think we're trying to really peak at the right time here, and matching up against Connecticut. We've had a good game every time we've seen them. Even when the score has been a little lopsided, it's always a battle, and they have a lot of talented players. But I think if we're able to beat them today, and we see them one more time in the regular season, so it's always a good game, and hopefully a win today would be great for us in terms of the league standings.
And that will be next week at Connecticut. Now, despite that second period that went so well, is there anything you can think of that you'll be really looking to improve on still in the third period?
I think we're going to be telling them just keep doing what they're doing, because there's not a lot we need to work on if we play like we did, and if we have the puck as much as we did, we're going to be in good shape. But we had the puck so much because we were doing the little things right. We were forechecking the right way. We were making good decisions with it and being responsible. So hopefully we keep doing that and put ourselves in a good place.
All right, sounds good. Thanks very much, Lauren McAuliffe. Back with Haley Moore just after this on NESN and ESPN3. Back inside, a 2-0 advantage for the Boston Pride over the Connecticut Whale, and it's the last regular season home game in a great crowd here with GM Haley Moore for the Boston Pride, and about 1,800 people in the building today. And what's it been like to see this crowd really develop and join the team all season?
it's been incredible, and to see people start to gravitate toward our team and to really embrace us. And for the fans that have showed up today, it's just blown us away. It's been really fun. I know it's great for the players to be able to play in front of a crowd like this, and it's really what they deserve, and our fans are embracing us as much as we're embracing them.
Now you've got your yellow scarf, see a ton of yellow out there, especially with the 14 strong shirts, the number 24 Denna Lang shirts, and we have one behind us as well. That's become kind of a second story the last several weeks here, and you've known the Lang family for quite a while. What's been the impact that all this support has had on them?
It's been remarkable. The amount of support that's come in for Denna has really just surpassed anyone's expectations. Whenever something like this happens, you obviously hope that the community will rally around them and your team, and it's shown so much about the strength of the hockey community and the community in general. We're very proud to be able to celebrate Denna Day today, and for her to be here as well, joining us. It's been an incredible day. We have the stands packed and raising a ton of funds for her. Obviously, that's what we want, and to be able to continue her support for a long time.
Now, as the general manager, you get to field all the requests for people that want to help out and kind of orchestrate different things that the team and the community can do for Denna. What have been some of the most surprising requests and outside people that have come in and want to do something to help out the Lang family?
I think the biggest thing is to just see how many requests there really are, and from all walks of life, and the amount of support that comes in from anyone that has zero connection to somebody that has known Denna their entire lives. The amount of support that's come in a daily basis, to see that it's still coming in very steadily, has been incredible, and it just it blows us all away. But there's no one person or organization that has stepped up that has set themselves apart, because really it's just been remarkable across the board.
Now, one thing we do want to make sure we talk about is the Cards for Denna that you and especially Brittany Ott have been kind of taking advantage of. How can the fans at home really get involved?
Well, besides, obviously those fans that have showed up today, and a lot of our proceeds today are going towards her fund. You can obviously go to dennalang.org and contribute there, but you can also follow her story. And that's something that's really special and has been very impactful for Denna to read the notes and the messages of support that have come in have really meant a lot to her, and it's just great to see the smile on her face every time somebody tells them that they're thinking about her. And our players have done a great job in stepping up to create this Cards for Denna initiative, and we've collected so many cards already, and Denna has vowed to read every single one of them, and they're incredibly uplifting. And it's great to see the support from people across the globe, really.
And finally, Denna able to make it into the building today, and how big of a boost is that mentally and emotionally for this team?
There are no words for it. It's just been an incredible day so far, and to start things off with the team with a surprise visit from Denna. They did not know she was coming, and they all hoped, obviously, that she'd be in here today, but to surprise the team with her and start the day off with that has been incredibly inspiring for all of us, and I think it's being proven on the ice right now.
All right, thanks very much, General Manager Haley Moore. We'll be back in just a few moments with the third period of action, a 2-0 Boston Pride lead as they fight for first in the NWHL standings.
Tony, I was gonna say your Valentine's Day tweets are straight fire.
I didn't see him yet. It's Denneday at Bright Landry Hockey Center. You see the 24, not just there, but all around the rink. And Boston has the 2-0 lead over the Connecticut Whale through 2 periods. In that second period, especially, Scott was dominating for the Boston Pride.
Yeah, Connecticut only get 1 shot on goal. It came late in the period. The only goal for the Pride came very early. Of course, they had the power play entering the second period, and that's able to score right off it. You see it here, Gallardi in front, and the finish by Decker. And so the Pride get the 2-0 lead there, and then they continue to throw the puck on net. A ton saves for Nicole Stock in that second period, but it stays 2-0 going into the third period. So if Connecticut can find the right adjustment and get themselves into an offensive flow early in this third period, they might be able to fight their way back into it. Again, just a 2-goal deficit for this Whale team.
And you saw the first period highlight package, really a lot of back and forth with Nicole Stock and Brittany Ott. Both goaltenders making a lot of saves. Second period, we really didn't see a whole lot of Brittany Ott at all, as she only had to make 1 stop officially in that second period, and Nicole Stock did a great job keeping this at a 2-0 game.
And this is how it's been for the Pride over the last month plus, since they really started to go on their run of how well they played, the 3 consecutive wins over Connecticut. They're now trying to finish off a 4th straight win over the Whale, and the way things look right now, these two teams, if chalk prevails, would go on to play in the championship series in early March. So, this is a chance for these two teams to continue to learn about each other. And right now, the Pride have the advantage. Bobby Jay's club is, after a loss in the first matchup this year with Connecticut, have been able to find their stride. And for the Whale, their only 3 losses have come against Boston this season. And for them, they definitely want to get one back on this Pride team, and most importantly, not give up the first place lead.
Connecticut has completed their season sweep of the Buffalo Buttes, 6-0 against them, 5-0 against the New York Riveters. They'll close out the regular season against the Riveters. Buffalo and New York are in progress right now. They're in the third period, and New York has actually taken a 4-3 lead over Buffalo. They had been down 3-2, so New York won't quite be able to jump into third place in the standings, as they sit 3 behind right now. But they will also play next weekend, as Boston and Connecticut will be back at it, this time at Chelsea Piers in Connecticut. That'll be next Sunday at 1:30. And then Boston will finish the regular season at Buffalo, a team that the Pride have lost to once this season, the overtime loss, the only loss in the last 9 games for the Boston Pride.
Of course, that was an overtime loss for Boston. And, Buffalo's been playing better as of late. Trying to secure that number 3 spot, and maybe out of the 2 teams, Buffalo or New York, if one of those lower teams were to make a run, it would probably be Buffalo the way things look. But all about the matchups, of course.
Had a stalemate for a moment there in the corner, but Kelly Stack comes away with it. Now Boston Knight right up, and Stock again makes a stop.
Yep, right back to where we were in that second period. Nicole Stock making saves on good Boston chances. Another look at Hillary Knight trying to stuff it in front, coming from that behind the net position. I guess gets the name of Gretzky's office, but Hillary Knight trying to make it her own.
Puck back behind the boards. Boston really looking to stay strong here. Lauren McAuliffe said during the second intermission, the assistant coach for the Pride, they're going to look to keep doing what they're doing. No need to change anything.
Exactly, nothing to change. I mean, if you're going to have the puck, and I'm probably exaggerating, have 75% of the time in terms of having good offensive pressure, yeah, there's nothing you want to change. Let the other team make the change.
Now Long look to wrap it around, but Boston is able to clear it away. Pelkey sends it up through the middle, went behind Hickel. Doyle was able to take it, and Boston has still had control in the offensive zone for much of this third period. after keeping it in the offensive zone for most of the second.
Good job there by Amanda Pelkey to jump over the wall there before that puck maybe struck her, and could have had too many players on the ice against Boston.
Connecticut is up to 2 shots already in the first minute and 44 seconds in this third period. They had just 1 in all of the second, although a couple of the early shots here for Connecticut have just been coming in and not hard saves for Brittany Ott. Although she probably doesn't mind that she's at least getting involved in staying fresh on plays like that. Boston is able to win control. Brought up again into the corner, the offensive zone. Golardi, tried a shot, bounce back out.
Was blocked there right in the front. From my vantage point, can't see who that is, but she's limping off. I believe it was Danielle Ward who made the block going down for the slot and then skating off gingerly to the bench.
She got off and looks like she'll just try and rest it for a moment on the bench, not really being tended to by anybody. And here's a penalty coming up. Boston will have yet another power play.
Corinne Bowie getting stood up right there at the blue line and thrown down.
Boston 1 for 3 today on the man advantage.
Got the tail end of it right there.
And Bowie just takes one for the team and has a smile getting up. No injury at all there, and she just is able to go down to the ice, get back up, and put Boston on the man advantage. Kaylee Fratkin is the one that goes down, or goes into the box. One of the assistant captains for this team. Also is one of the All-Stars. Body checking the call on Fratkin. And Boston now with 5 games in a row having a special teams goal. In one of those games they had just a shorthanded goal, so not a streak of power play tallies. Back up the other way. Boston has got it, now trying to center it. Knocked back to the end boards. Near side, Boston keeps it. Decker turns around, finds Marvin at the blue line. Ripped his shot. This is deflected by a Whale stick. It popped over the net. Stayed in play though. Now Marvin again. Doesn't have a clean lane to pass. Back out in front, and what a nifty move there, but the defense able to clear it away.
Oh, behind the back dish from Hillary Knight along the goal line there.
And another shot ripped, banged off the glass hard.
Knight was looking for Smelker at the top of the crease.
30 seconds left on the 5-on-4. Here's Decker turning around. Knight onside. Was able to get the left skeet over the line as she waited. Now Decker fighting in the corner. As one Whale coming at her from the back, and the puck squirts all the way up the other end. Bolden right in front of her own bench, and there's a tangle as Boston trying to get a change. Smart though by Dempsey to not hop onto the ice.
Right. That little tie up there, yeah, threw off the timing, and Dempsey just stayed on her side before he was able to clearly get back onto the ice.
Bolden keeps it in on the blue line, far side of the ice, but now Connecticut will have a chance to clear it out. We are back to 5-on-5 hockey. Boston leading 2-0. 5 minutes into the third period. Taken away at center ice, and a goal! Somehow that snuck through for Brittany Doherty, and Connecticut is on the board all of a sudden, a 1-goal game.
Whatever happened there, it threw Ott off because she flailed at it with the blocker and the stick, and it just gets by her.
Doherty just wristed it up, and
maybe a screen potentially by a Pride player indirectly, or obviously not on purpose, where she wasn't able to track the puck cleanly off the stick there. Tough to tell from that side view.
That is the first goal of the season for Brittany Doherty, former UMaine Black Bear.
And now quickly going right back at it. Just like that, how things can turn around, especially in a 2-0 game.
Now here's Rachel Lannis. She loses it. Pushed out ahead of her, and almost looked like Kaylee Fratkin thought a penalty would be called, but it wasn't. She had a kind of frustrated expression. Would have been able to understand why had a penalty been called. Here's Knight. Turns around right on her own blue line. Connecticut takes it, shoots on Ott. She covers up and we'll have a face-off. Now that goal right there is one of the things you have to worry about with the goaltender just standing around for as long as she has been, waiting for something to happen. Not that she was necessarily asleep in the crease, but maybe wasn't expecting that Connecticut would take a shot there.
The only thing I think of is, again, if we were able to go back and look at it just to see positioning-wise for the Pride, or maybe that puck hit a deflection on the way in, because the way she went after to save it is, she went one way and the puck the other.
Back to the corner. Here's Decker turning around. Left it off, has Knight to help out. Off the side of the post. 6.5 minutes into the period, puck is loose. Knight fought for it, won it. Sent up in front, puck still loose. Here circling around, backhand shot, no goal.
Knight had a bouncing, juicy rebound right in front of her and couldn't put it away initially there, and then still the Pride put another shot on goal after that.
Connecticut wants to get off for a change here, and now they'll have a chance with the puck coming across the red line. They can dump it down into the corner. Ott plays it. Marvin there, now to Gedman. Gedman sent it up to Pelkey, went off of her skate across the red line. Decker into the zone onside, looking in front, backhand shot, no goal, just went high.
May have got the crossbar of the post there.
Mangine couldn't quite keep it in the zone. Everybody has to retreat back to the neutral ice. There's Mangine again. This time she will bring it in. Mangine to the middle. Hickel shoots, misses. Boston again trying to keep control as long as they can. Bolden fires it on, and Stock is able to make the stop. 12:13 to go. Boston controlling, but Connecticut has cut the deficit in half. A goal by Brittany Doherty has made it 2-1 with 12:13 on the clock in the third period. Back inside the Bright Landry Hockey Center, Boston has a 2-1 advantage on the Connecticut Whale. A couple of more close chances here for the Pride in the third period.
Well, big stops from Nicole Stock to make after the Whale able to get a goal on the board and pull within one. Pride were primed to get the 2-goal lead right back, but stopping Hillary Knight on one opportunity, Amanda Pelkey on another, and so the Pride even still with the huge offensive advantage, only a 2-1 lead. And the shots on goal are always a little, they don't always tell the story, although I think today they really do. I mean, the Pride have dominated the game, They just haven't scored more than 2 goals. That's all. I mean, it's the way it's gone, and Connecticut getting an interesting goal, to say the least, in terms of the way it developed, and a puck that Brittany Ott has stopped 9 times out of 10, or 99 out of 100 in her career.
Left off, now centering feed, knocked away by Connecticut. Now, if the Whale were to somehow come back and win this game, you'd have to give the first star to Nicole Stock. Here's coming in, Brittany Ott able to pounce on it and cover up for the face-off.
Might give it to her anyways.
Even if Connecticut loses this game, she might deserve it, as she's made 35 saves so far. Boston does average about 45.5 shots per game. Score 4.2 goals. That's tops in the NWHL. Here comes Gallardi, pushes it forward. Got it to Bowie. Quick skates behind the net. Loose body down there will prevent clean possession. Taken away and backhanded up by Smolenseva. Back in on side for Boston. It's Marvin. Taken away by the Whale. 11 minutes to go off the skate of Gallardi. Marvin skates forward, a 2-on-1, but quickly coming back. Now Bowie takes a shot, rings it off the boards. Boston has really put some muscle behind a lot of their shots today. Up to Decker, she pushes it forward. Right at the red line was Knight. Now Smelker with it, looks for a shot and scores! Jordan Smelker, her second of the game and 4th this season against Connecticut.
The extra hold of that puck across the slot opened up that shot, it looked like, for Smelker.
Take another look as she just came across the top of the circle and found the cookies.
Right between 2 defenders, her second of the day, as you said, Andy. And reassuming that 2-goal lead.
8th and 9th goals of the season for Smelker. Ties her with Brianna Decker for second on the team, of course, behind Hillary Knight, who leads the league in everything. By the way, they are giving Knight an assist on that, so just add that to her point total.
Well, she came in with a 5-game multi-point streak. Knight, that is.
Boston does have a 3-1 lead right now, 9:59 on the clock in the 3rd period. That was Knight's second assist, so now a 6-game multi-point streak, and we'll have a quick review. Momentarily delaying the game, but
we just had an icing, so there's only.
They're checking to see when the clock stops, or when the clock should have stopped, I suppose, is what they're looking at.
Connecticut, you want as much time to be added back on the clock here. So it's when the officials blow the icing dead at the dot, usually right there, so it should be about 10:04.
They should add a couple of seconds here. We'll see what they do put on the clock.
I'm going to go 10:04.
Right now it reads at 9:59, and it is in fact 10:04. Face-off won by Boston in the offensive zone. Now Mangine back at the blue line. Look for someone to go to. Pushed forward by the stick of Stock. Say that 10 times fast.
Connecticut can be tricky when you have Kelly Stack, Kelly Babstock, and Nicole Stock. I think I got that all right.
You did. Still a 2-goal lead for Boston. You hear so often how that's considered the most dangerous lead in hockey. Connecticut was able to cut it in half once. We'll see if they can light the lamp again.
You hear that in hockey and soccer, a 2-goal lead being the worst lead to have. I don't know how it's worse than having a 1-goal lead, but hey, I'm not the expert on that, I guess.
It's all right. We don't play sports, Scott. We just talk about them.
I guess in a sense it gives you a sense of maybe complacency that you're up by 2 goals, and it allows the other team to build some momentum, score a goal, and go from that way. But again, I think if you asked any athlete, you'd rather be up by 1 or 2. You'd probably take 2.
So that's probably accurate, and we'll see the arm go up for icing again. And this time looks like they get the clock stopped right away, so it'll be an offensive zone faceoff for Connecticut. Haven't said that too many times today.
Now it's just a matter of taking advantage in the face-off dot. Good win there.
I should retract myself from earlier. Hillary Knight has just 1 assist so far, so she continues a 6-game point streak, but not quite to multi-points yet. Had to help her on Smelker's 2nd goal there. The first goal, assist went to Pelkey and Dempsey. Connecticut keeping it in. Shot misses left. Decker was assisted by Gallardi and Marvin. And then Connecticut's only goal was unassisted by Doherty. Boston in onside. Here's Dempsey with a quick turn and just went behind her teammate.
Looking for Bowie, who had just skated in and off the bench, as Dempsey now heads out.
Ott slides out to her left.
Dempsey's always that player that will be the last one to change, because she can get up into the offensive end on a forecheck or with the puck, obviously, and create something.
Here's the speedy Lannis, tried to send it in front. Defended by Stack.
Dempsey, of course, had plenty of success on this ice surface in her college days. A couple of Harvard players on the Pride roster with Gedman and Dempsey, and some future Pride players that play currently for Harvard that are been draft picks of the Pride, namely goalie Emrance Mashmeyer.
Dempsey, as a senior in 2013, named a finalist for the Patty Kazmaier Award. Has won a League Player of the Week award this year. That was back in early December after a 7-6 win over Buffalo. Onside are the Pride, and a shot is knocked away by Stock. Boston hasn't had a whole lot of shots here in the third, especially the last couple of minutes, sitting on 38 right now. 17 for the Whale.
Well, at this point, you do maybe want to adjust what you've been doing if you're the Pride.
You don't
drop
need
back
to really
into more of a defensive-oriented type of play here. Shorten the shifts up. Make sure you have fresh legs out there at all times. Don't get caught in a bad spot.
Brittany Ott does still have the only shutout in the NWHL. Looked like she might have a chance at her second today, but Brittany Doherty had other thoughts.
We saw from the outside of the league that the offense, and this is what happens, offense usually ahead of the curve against the defense and goaltending, and that's what we saw, a lot of high-scoring games, and we still have that, and also evidenced by the fact we've only had 1 shutout in the league the entire year.
Boston has scored at least 6 goals 4 times this year.
That's a tricky one for Ott.
Yeah, rip from the blue line. She's able to stop it. And that will bring us to another break. Still a 3-1 Pride advantage. Looking for first place in the NWHL standings over this Connecticut Whale team. Back in just a moment with the third period. .15 now. Jordan Smelker with 2 goals tonight, has 9 on the season, has scored her 8th and 9th to tie her for second on the team.
Played her college hockey at Rensselaer, RPI, who actually was the opponent of Harvard men's hockey here on Friday night, while the women actually played in Troy against RPI on Friday night.
All 4 years there playing for the Engineers, ranked top 2 on the team in scoring. Finished her career with 86 total points. Still 2-goal Boston advantage, 3-1 is the tally. Mangine back at the blue line, sends it forward to the face-off circle, back towards the middle, backhand shot, missed by Bowie. Stock was able to knock it away, and she has done a fantastic job today despite that 3 goals on the board for Boston.
One of them, of course, coming on the power play. The goal back in the early part of the second period for Boston.
Mentioned earlier that Boston has had at least 6 goals 4 times this year. If not for Stock having the game she is, easily could have gotten there today.
Don't count the Pride out just yet.
Mangine had it rock off of her body. Turns around, and right there is Gallardi. Goes long off of Mangine's stick. Now she sends it back towards the blue line. Knight knocked it down. Didn't seem to quite know where it was. Puck is popped up. Knight will chase after it. No icing. Scrum up in the corner, and Boston is able to take control at the blue line as the puck came loose. Back again, this time it's Decker at the half boards. Now turnaround. Smolenseva is there. Sends it long, and the charge back. We'll see no icing as it's slowed down, and Marvin was able to get there. Decker taps it forward, lets it skip off of her stick. Goes and chases it down. Has Gedman, blue line, wrists one forward, deflected away. Now Marvin saw a defender fall down behind her. Connecticut trying to put something together offensively. They do trail by 2, and
it's icing.
Got a whistle for icing. Looked like she might have gotten across the red line, but no real argument from the Connecticut Whale. 2:27 on the clock, a 3-1 Boston lead. We've had a lot of long stretches of action in this game.
Yeah, what you expect from teams that like to play open ice. Goals on the board, the 2 top scoring teams in the league. And Now looks like Connecticut using their timeout here. Not able to change, of course, after the whistle here.
There's Bobby J right there for the Boston Pride. It's Heather Lindstad leading the Connecticut Whale. She's just recently taken over. She took over as head coach January 29th. Jake Mastel resigning. So Heather Lindstad, former head coach at Northeastern and the University of Connecticut. She was with the first Huskies for 8 years and then the other Huskies for 13 years. Also had a season stint with the U.S. under-18 national team in there in 2011-2012.
And obviously drawing up, win the face-off here, clear the zone, but at this point it looks like they're looking over at Nicole Stock and probably getting her out of the net as soon as possible, down by 2 goals and 2:27 left, and Bobby J drawing up the play for all of us to see.
See exactly what he wants on the face-off here.
And he might be drawing up a put-away goal right now.
Like he wants to attack. It is a face-off in the offensive zone. We've got a solid wave going around the rink right now.
Yeah, the wave.
Isn't that your favorite part of sports, Scott?
I will say it works better in an arena like this that connects around. You go to some places like a Fenway Park where there's huge gaps in it, and you're blocking my view of the 7th inning in an important game. But it's a story for another day.
We got 8 rows all the way around here, except for a couple of sections, like over in section 5, where we have our cameras here. But pretty much all the way around, and a fairly full house today. Around 1,800 people coming out for the final regular season home game here at Bright Landry Hockey Center for the Boston Pride this year. Again, the Isabel Cup semifinals will be played up at Ray Bork Arena in Beverly, Massachusetts.
Look like the Whale during that timeout tried to sneak different players out onto the ice, and they got turned away. Well, sometimes they say if you're not cheating, you're not trying.
Connecticut was able to win the faceoff, but now Pelkey sends it back into the zone. Out in front, kept away from the net by Brickner. Boston maintaining that 2-goal advantage, trying to keep it in the offensive zone, and they'll try and put an insurance goal home. Under 2 minutes to play. There's icing, and that will bring it up the ice for an offensive zone face-off for Connecticut, and off goes Nicole Stock.
Well, that worked out well for Connecticut. Now you get Stock cleanly off the ice, have an offensive zone face-off, 1:51. Now just a matter of really just got to keep the puck off the Boston sticks, because they got plenty of players that can find that goal from a great distance away.
Connecticut able to win control. Brickner there. Boston trying to get it back. Now up out in front to the point. Shot missed just wide right.
Ott did have the skate up against the post there, making sure there was no room.
Looked like Mangine may have gotten a stick. Now Ott uses her blocker. 90 seconds to go, and that finds a hole and goes through. A 1-goal game on an extra attacker goal for Connecticut.
Kelly Babstock mentioned, she'd been quiet for most of the game, but mentioned her though as a weapon. And Babstock able to find the net here as that puck bounced a bit near Ott. So maybe Buser there at the end may have got the touch.
That would be her 4th goal of the season. We'll see who they credit it to. It is under review. Right now, as things stand, if this is a good goal, it'll be a 3-2 Boston lead with 1 minute and 26 seconds to go. Nicole Stock had come out.
A quick review and a goal. Didn't even give me time to look at it as I shuffled over to look at the monitor.
See the quick point there, and Boston is ready to get back into action. Brianna Decker already at the dot. Kate Buser does get the goal. Again, her 4th of the season. Jordan Brickner gets the assist, her 6th. Back to the blue line. The net is still empty. Stock is off the ice as Connecticut tries to come back and even this one up. Knight got it away, and Smelker poked it forward but couldn't keep control. If Smelker can find the empty pipes, that would be a hat trick for her. Under 50 seconds on the clock. Puck is loose up in the corner. Decker is up there fighting for it. She'll take, and the empty net there. The puck was knocked off the moorings. Kaylee Fratkin.
That may have been done intentionally.
Kaylee Fratkin was sliding in at it. Let's take another look. There's Decker up in the corner.
Oh no, it looked like there was a collision, so I'm thinking the tail end of that right there.
The officials are discussing, and it looks like Boston, see if they call a penalty either way, and there will be a trip. This is going to go against Connecticut. So Boston will have a power play here with 40 seconds left.
So what Fratkin did there, basically, she just, saw obviously that Boston was about to have a goal, so she just went all out into the net, and and either she was going to block the puck, she was going to take out the Pride player there, and in the process, knock the net off its pegs as well, kind of doing it all there to make sure Boston couldn't score. So really, in the end, for Fratkin, that's a pretty heads-up play, although you do go to the box, and now if you do pull the goalie, it's only going to be 5-on-5.
Because there were other bodies in the area, there's no penalty shot there. It wasn't necessarily a clean path. However, Decker almost certainly would have been able to score there.
So
the puck stayed on.
As I kind of said, done on purpose there by Fratkin to just take out the net, really.
Now here comes a chance. Deflected high. Net is still empty. Boston on the power play. Now 10 seconds left. And here is Gigi Marvin to find the empty net, and that'll do it. Boston will come away with what should be a 4-2 win as Gigi Marvin finds the empty net to ice this one.
Back on that chance, though, here on this side of the ice, the puck got deflected up as we see the empty netter by Marvin, but it took a Pride bounce because it hit the topmost portion of the glass to stay in. If that had got into the net, you would have had an offensive zone face-off for Connecticut. And so it works out for the Pride.
Boston ends up 2 for 5 on the power play today, as that is a power play goal despite the empty net. And there's the horn signaling a 4-2 Boston Pride win and first place in the National Women's Hockey League. They jump up with 25 points, and Boston had this one, especially from the start of the second.
Yeah, they did when they scored that goal early in the second period and went up 2-0. Only allowed Connecticut one shot on goal that entire second period. But the Whale fought hard in the third period, got to within 2-1, and then 3-2. And then right before that empty net goal, they had a chance to tie this one up late, but it bounces the Pride way. So the Pride now in first place.
Smelker from Pelkey and Dempsey, then Decker from Gallardi and Marvin. Marvin got a goal of her own from Smelker. Smelker ended up with 2 goals on the day. Hillary Knight and Brittany Doherty getting the empty netter to finish things off. That'll do it. Thanks everybody for tuning in alongside Scott Sudikoff. And for the rest of the crew, this has been a fun season at the Bright Landry Hockey Center for the Boston Pride. A 4-2 win today over Connecticut. I'm Andy Town. We'll talk to you next time.